Hello ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm Alex. Not Airsoft Al today, but just Alex. So, I'm making no secret, I love wood. I like wood parts, I love wood guns, I just love the look of wood on metal. Wood on steel, wood on damn near anything. Hell, I love the woody, for God's sakes, which, yeah, shows how old I am, but, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys today about the process I do to basically make not only my dark walnut shotgun right there, but also, of course, the Raycon rifle there, and the one thing that got everyone turning their heads at Sector 9, which of course is my wood MP5SD.
Excuse me, what?
No, you heard correctly. My wood MP5SD, which is cognac colored wood stain. And of course I even inspired another Fallout fan to basically start doing their own wood paint job in the process I did. And ironically enough, I'm actually offering up these services at Sector 9, so if you go at Sector 9 and you want something done in your cognac, or red oak, or dark walnut, just hit me up at the field. I'll probably bring the stuff there, or hit me up on Discord. We'll make something work. But either way though. So, I'm going to kind of go through the process of what I do for this, and kind of an experiment of sorts to kind of see what's going on, because one of the things I do is I use brown paint, or at least for the dark walnut I use brown paint, but for this, and for this, I used warm satin color paint, which is basically like a caramel color paint, or at least a light caramel color paint. So setting this down, I want to kind of talk about the experiment, because it's interesting and it got me thinking and future prospects, but either way though. So the experiment is basically on dark earth, or at least FDE. This color right here. I looked at this and realized, hey, this could actually make a really good, like, base thing if I don't have any warm satin. Let's say, you know, because I can buy these on Amazon for relatively cheap. Hell, I can even buy FDE handguards and pistol grips for cheap. And all I need is the wood stain, right? Well, if that was the case, I'd be doing a lot better, and I'd basically be making these en masse. But let's back up a bit. Why this? Well, because I happen to have an Elite Force AK behind me that is also in FDE. And looking at, I started getting some very, very, very naughty ideas. So this is basically an experiment, because this is going to be on the AR-47. Now, what is this stock exactly? This stock is, of course, a Matrix M16 A3 stock. I say A3 because that's the actual thing it's said on the website, but the reason for this is because of the QD mounts here, which are basically the same thing on the rec rifle. I've used the QD mounts. They actually do work. Sometimes they'll come out. A little bit of Loctite actually does help keep that in place, but we'll get to that in a minute, I promise. So yeah, what is the process for this? Well, outside of course removing the butt plate here, and of course the here and the QD mount there, I begin the very, very interesting process of sanding the sumbitch down, which means that I'm going to take some very nice sandpaper here and literally just sanding it. That's all I do. I literally just sand it down, if I can get a good grip on it. We'll be right back after this jump cut. Alright, so, stopped midway sanding to show you exactly what you want. So what you want is the texture of the stock to kind of look like that, where it's got that, very much so, you've gotten past the top coating and now you're under the actual plastic. Now this is so the wood stain can actually bond to it better, or at least it should bond to it better. Again, what I would be doing at this point in time is adding at least 2 coats, misting, mind you, of satin, but in this case, it should definitely be interesting. Now, I've still got a lot of small spots of the top layer to get rid of, so again, you want the whole stock to kind of look like that, and in between sanding sessions, wash it off, and it should add a little better. Now, if you need to use, like what I do, which is soap and water or rubbing alcohol, that also helps with the getting rid of the top layer, but again, it is what it is. Anyway, back to sanding for me before I begin the experiment of the wood stain process. Alright, now that this is fully sanded, I'm going to go ahead and kind of tell you my process of what I do to kind of wood this. Now, the stain I'm using is a nice black cherry. Now, what you're going to need is a 1/2-inch small brush and a 1-inch brush. Now, the small brush, what I like to do with the small brush here, which is the 1/2-inch brush, I like to kind of dip it in there and then make a streak across this. Don't do too much, just enough. And I'll take the big brush here and I'll kind of do my wood grain, basically, across the body. That's kind of the process I like to do. So, I would show you that, but I don't know how YouTube is with it or anything of that nature. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do another jump cut, and we're going to see the finished product, or at least the thing when it's fully nice and, yes. Oh, yeah, that black cherry turned out real nice. So, I'm going to let this sit in front of the heater tonight to dry out. And in the morning, we will be applying the clear coat. Now, I could apply the clear coat tonight, but that is going to be a whole process in of itself that I'd rather wait till morning to do. But in the current lighting, this looks really nice, but wait till we actually get actual daytime conditions for you to see all of it in the lights. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, now, the clear coat I am using is a Rust-Oleum Matte Clear Ultra Cover. This is actually really good stuff. It's legitimately really good. But either way, we're just going to go ahead and mist the stock a little bit. Sorry if the camera's shaking, because I'm shaking the can in the other hand. And we're just going to apply a nice, simple clear coat to it. Like that. Like that. Like I said, you basically just want to mist it. Sorry if I'm not getting it in camera. Again, I'm filming in one hand, spray painting in the other. Like that. And then like that. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing this, and we'll come back to when it's fully dried. While the stock dries, I know a lot of you are going to be asking questions, especially some who have, when I've done this, I've actually kind of brought this up in the Discords I've been in. Why would I want to paint wood like what I've done behind me with the shotgun and, of course, the AR and, you know, the MP5? Well, that's actually a good question, and it comes down to money. Because in all actuality, a lot of the parts for airsoft guns, unless they're gas blowback, aren't exactly going to work with wood. Or let me try and explain this as best as humanly possible. So, let's kind of break it down, shall we? I actually went looking, and I've actually found wood parts on Amazon, well, not Amazon, on other places that were actually suggested to me by people who were like, oh, you know, you can always actually just buy the wood parts. And I could. Let me go ahead and give an example here of some of these wood parts' prices. Now, there is a company on e-bike that actually does make the stubby stock that has a wood stock with a carbon fiber plate, basically, a butt pad. Here's that. Yeah. And then, of course, there are other places that do, of course, also sell wood parts, mostly for real steel. And while, yes, gas blowback guns like WeTech can take real steel parts, yeah, price-wise, yeah. And that just adds up, mind you. And a lot of people are going to be kind of scratching their heads, going like, why would I want to do that? And especially people like I know who basically ask the same question. Why the hell would I want to spend money on a part I'm going to be putting on a toy? And a lot of people are going to basically say, hey, it adds to the cool factor, it adds to a look, it looks nice. And yeah, I agree, but a lot of people are not going to want to pay that price tag. A lot of people want to take the economical route, especially down here in the South. And the vast majority of the process I've done is actually under like 20 bucks, if not cheaper. So a lot of people are going to want to do this process where it's like, hey, I've got this part on my gun I really like, but I want to know, I want to make it wood. So basically, hey, they're making it wanting to look like wood and feel like laminated wood versus actually buying the damn thing and then modifying it to fit on AEG, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of wood parts that are the stock or even the motor grip are not going to fit on those if it's an AEG, which means that, hey, if you have a gas blowback, you've already spent fucking maybe $400-500 on it in that price range, and then you're spending a little bit more to put wood parts on it. It just doesn't. Yeah, and then of course there's the Asian companies that actually do make parts for AEG and gas blowback that are a little bit cheaper, but that's still adding on to that already expensive price tag that you've already put on your gun. Now, a lot of that to say that the reason people are going to want to go with this process, like myself, is because of budgetary constraints, or the fact of it's more affordable to do so, and it adds your own style to it, your own flavor to it. I mean, the dark walnut behind me actually got a lot of, right there's the dark walnut right behind my head. Shotgun parts, actually I had my own little flavor to it. The AR right there, that was my first one. A lot of people like that. My Cognac MP5 SD, this little bad boy here got a lot of heads turning. A lot of people wanted to use it at the field because, hey, it's really nice, really cool. It feels great in the hand because of that lamination effect. It's, again, it kind of comes down to the fact of people like this. And if it gets damaged or the stuff starts coming off, hey, that just adds to that effect of this is battle damaged, it's worn. It actually adds to it. It makes it look even prettier. A lot of people like it because, hey, this legitimately does look very nice. And I like that effect as well, especially on my AR back then, especially on my MP5, especially on my shotgun. Everyone likes it because it's affordable and it looks nice, and people can add their own style to it, essentially. It kind of comes down to those factors. TLDR, it's affordable, people can make it their own, and it'll still look good even if worn or damaged. There you go. Now, with that said, enough time should have passed in real time to where the stock is now dry, and we can actually now look at the finished product of our dark cherry on a FDE or dark earth stock. And if that is the case, I might be able to experiment on another FDE gun I happen to have in the collection, and believe me, that is going to be something very, very nice. Oh, yes. Welcome to the jump cut, ladies and gentlemen. So, with this, it's dry, it's done, and my God, did it turn out better than I expected. Like, it really did. Ladies and gentlemen, the dark cherry stock for the AR-47. This looks so good. And you're probably wondering, why the clear coat? Why not just keep it as is? Well, the clear coat's actually on there to help protect it, and at least prevent some damages. Now, something that was actually pointed out by a fellow wood color maker, which of course is my friend Chuck, who is of the NCR group. This lovely bit right here is what we sometimes run into, which is the crackling effect on the actual stock itself. I don't know if you can see that very well. I wish you could, but basically that happens sometimes. But it's fine. For me, it's fine. If it's just small parts, then hey, it just shows kind of like a damaged effect, or for me at least an aged effect, which again, is what it is. Now, what I plan to do with this right here is actually get a full 20-inch barrel, make this into an M16 setup, and go from there. But here's the thing. It's going to get cherry wood as well. Definitely going to get a A1 handguard. That's definitely going to go on this because I love the A1 handguard. But I might go with the A2, the round handguard, honestly. But yeah, anyway. So, this is a process that I'm actually going to replicate on another build. Now, the other reason why you would go with the clear coat, which I'm going to stay on that before I go into the other thing, which is going to get the same treatment, is that the clear coat actually gives a laminate effect, which you actually see on the AR behind me, on the shotgun, and on the MP5. The lamination, it gives off that laminate effect. Like, hey, this has been laminated wood, this has been treated wood, this is wood that has been basically done. And if it gets damaged, hey, that's fine. Now, you can go with a single coat, or you can go with a dual coat, like a double coat, 2 coats basically clear on there. That's something you can do. But with this on here, I'm also going to do the same thing with the pistol grip. However, the pistol grip is not FDE. The pistol grip is actually is black, and basically the same process applies, except you'd go with a satin, warm satin, or just satin in general. Basically, FDE paint over it as the first coat. Then you would do it with the stain over it. Then you would basically clear coat it. Now, I'm going to set this off to the side, because this is where that lovely, lovely thing comes into play of what other evil am I doing with this process? Why did I experiment with the FDE and have you guys join the journey along the way? Well, it's because I have a Elite Force eye trace AK that is going to get the same treatment. And, yeah. This right here is going to get the treatment as well. All this is going to get... I'm deciding whether I want to do dark cherry on this as well, or if I want to do red oak. Or maybe cognac, or maybe anything else. I don't know. I actually genuinely do try to be experimental, try to basically be, but I'm going to let you guys decide later on in the video, because I'll put this up to you to decide. But yeah, basically I did that to experiment because I have these two pieces of FDE right here. And honestly, I kind of want to do that with this, but I haven't decided what color to go with. But the other reason is that if you yourself have FDE and you don't like the FDE look, but you want to do something with it, this video basically was to kind of show you, hey, can FDE or Dark Earth be made into wood? And I think the experiment we've seen with the stock has proven that, yes, you can wood it. So if you have an AK that has FDE parts, but you don't like the FDE and you don't want to spend a lot of money to basically replace them, but you want to make it look good, like, say, the eye trace here, which, yes, this will be getting a review in the future, I promise you. And then this process, this video basically shows you, hey, you can make it into wood. Now, this is where you guys get to come into play. What should I do with this? What should I make this into? Should I do cognac, like the MP5? Should I do red oak, like the AR behind me? Should I do dark walnut, like the shotgun? Or should I do the dark cherry, like I did with the stock? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if this process has helped you, kind of inspire you to make, kind of get into the wood painting aspects of things, and it helps save money for you, let me know in the comments section. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help out the channel, consider donating to the PayPal. Or, if you'd like to have this and you are at Sector 9, understand this is only in person, mind you. If you want to have this done to your gun, I will be at Sector 9 whenever they have a game day, and I will bring my stuff, and I will actually do that on the field. And, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be offering up these services for cheap, and we'll discuss it kind of in person. So, yeah. Or if you want to do this yourself, there's the process. Sandpaper, paint, wood stain, basically, yeah. Again, when it comes to actual wood, I highly encourage people to experiment with the different browns, basically, because different brown paints actually, or at least levels of brown, legitimately do give you different results when it comes to the wood stain, as well as the color behind it. There's a lot of color science behind the stuff, so yeah, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Alex, and, yeah, if you're in the Sector 9 Discord, hit me up. Let's come to a game day. We'll make something happen. And as always, I've been Airsoft Al. Or, my bad, Alex. And I am extremely tired and a little lightheaded from all the paint fumes and stuff, so, after this camera goes off, I'm gonna go pass the hell out. Till next time.